we do represent Wales. So from now on, we'll be doing press conferences around the country, different parts, Aberystwyth, Swansea, Haverfordwest, wherever, when we announce our squads. We've got 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes top table, and we'll break out for 4 to 5-minute interviews, TV-wise, radio, and then about 15 minutes with the written press. Then we have a podcast, and then we're off to a school, local school, to meet some children. So we've got quite a lot to get through. And appreciate in the top table press conference that the questions are about the squad, not about issues, other issues. You can ask those in your one-to-one or other session. Okay. Who wants to go first? James, thanks.
Good morning, Ryan. Apologies, it's an English voice, not a Welsh one.
It's okay.
I know we've spoken about being an international manager before, and one of the problems with it is the time you have to think between games. So how would you reflect on that kind of first year of being Wales boss?
How would I reflect? I've enjoyed it. There's been ups, there's been downs, but that's what you expect. But no, I'm really pleased with where the squad's at. I've always said about getting that balance right of the exciting young players coming through and the older experienced players. But yeah, this has been tough, 4 months in between games, and obviously the last game we lost as well, so that's even worse. But no, getting around, seeing the players, and obviously other commitments as well that I've got. But no, the first year I've really enjoyed, and excited for the upcoming campaign.
Yeah, I imagine that defeat puts not a pressure, but certainly an onus to bounce back and give a performance first time round against Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah,
and I said after the game, sometimes you can learn a lot from losses, and yeah, hopefully it'll stand us in good stead, and it can be sometimes something that we can reflect back upon. But yeah, like I said, just excited for the qualifying campaign and the games coming up.
I think it's so natural to look down the squad and look for kind of big names. You've got Gareth Bale. There was a concern about his ankle injury, also maybe about his state of mind because of things over in Madrid at the moment not being great. Have you had a chance to have a chat with him?
I have, yes. That was more to do with something else, but no, I was worried as everyone when watching the game, and obviously it was in the last few minutes, but it's just a kick, so he should be fine. Can
you understand, as a player and as someone who's played at your level, the kind of criticism that sometimes you get when perhaps things aren't going your way, because he seems to be getting quite a lot of it at the moment?
That comes with playing for Real Madrid. You know, obviously I played for United, and you're open to criticism when you're at a big club. Everyone's had it. You know, 2 Ronaldos had it at Madrid. Gareth Bale has it. You know, he won't be the last person to be criticised. And he won 4 Champions Leagues, scored the winner last year. He doesn't really say much more, but when you're at Real Madrid and when you got a high profile like Gareth Bale, you are open to criticism. That comes with the territory.
He also made his debut, I think, for Wales against Trinidad and Tobago 13 years ago, that kind of full circle, and shows where he has come as a player and a superstar.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player, and a great player for Real Madrid, and a great player obviously for Wales. So like I've said in the past, when Gareth turns up, he gives everyone a lift. The staff, the fans, the players. And looking forward to him meeting up next week, along with the other players.
At the other end of the scale, a first call up for Will Vaux. I imagine that's a reward for someone who's kept kind of plugging away.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's been an interesting journey for Will. Released from Tranmere, and he was in the system in Wales, 15-16, gone up to Scotland, and then come back down. He's now captain for Rotherham. I've watched him, Paige's watched him, and he's done really well. Didn't do so well at the weekend, getting sent off, but at least there's no games now in between us and our game. But no, it's a fantastic story, and yeah, it just proves that you know, never give up. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to him meeting up, because he's got a lot to offer.
And in terms of the group, it's a tough one, but how confident are you that you have a set of players to get that top 2 and get through to the European Championships?
Yeah, I'm confident because of the players that we've got, and yeah, like you say, it's not going to be easy. It never is. You know, we've qualified once in the last 60 years, so you've got to just keep that into consideration. But we've got a talented group of players, and yeah, this playing Slovakia will probably be our main rivals. So yeah, it's a big game.
And the final point from me, training at Carrington in the run-up to Trinidad, was that a simple phone call to Ollie?
Yeah.
Just to
no,
use the
I mean,
yeah.
obviously with the game at Wrexham, Colliers Park isn't ready till May. Well, I've got a little small training camp in May there, but yeah, it just seemed natural. And I met up with a group of the players about a month ago, chatted to them about it, and they were all excited. You know, the chance to train at United, first-class facilities. So it's great for the young players. It's great for players who haven't maybe trained at these sort of facilities before. And of course, it's, you know, it's what, 45, 50 minutes away from Wrexham.
Morning, Ryan. You mentioned Carrington. There's been a bit of flack about whether Wales should be preparing for a home game in England, but for all the reasons you've just said, does that justify it as far as you're concerned?
Well, it does. You know, I'm preparing for an international, and you want to give the players the best chance. Some of my frustrations when I was playing, you know, we were playing on school pitches, we were playing on pitches, bogs. Well, I've got the opportunity to train at one of the best training facilities in the world. And like I said, if Colliers Park, if it was a month later, we'd be training at Colliers Park because it's not quite ready. So, like I said, I chatted with the players about it, and yeah, it was unanimous. They all wanted to train there. So it's the best preparation for international, for the Wednesday, and then obviously for a big game, important game against Slovakia. So it was a no-brainer in my head.
With the uncertainty at Real Madrid and the transition at Real Madrid now, does Gareth Bale bring that into camp, or by what you've seen of him, does he just shut it all out?
Nah, I mean, he's an experienced player. You know, I've said it over and over again what a quality player he is and what a quality person he is. So I expect Gareth to turn up, and just like he always is, like I've just touched on, he gives everyone a lift. And when he plays for Wales, he gives 100%, and more often than not, he performs well. So I don't expect any difference. Given
the uncertainty over his future, is it quite handy for him to have a look around Carrington while he's there?
Next question.
Okay, no comment on that one then? Or
No.
But it must be difficult for him at the moment.
Yeah, but he's at Real Madrid, and you know, when I played, when I was at United and you lost, yeah, you have to put up with that. Just like you have to put up with all the adulation when you win leagues, when you win Champions Leagues. It comes with the territory, and you have to put up with that. And Gareth's put up with it. You know, like I said, and great players over the years have put up with that, especially at Real Madrid, because you know, there's newspapers dedicated every day to reporting on that club, and yeah, so you have to take the rough with the smooth. But like I said, Gareth always turns up, gives everyone a lift, and he's always been brilliant around the camp.
What about Aaron's move to Juventus? Happy about that?
Well, I'm happy when players are playing. It's as simple as that. But he's playing well at the moment. It's not affected him. Yeah, he's going to a great club, the biggest club in Italy, and yeah, it'll be a great experience for him. And perhaps it is a bonus, you know, having so many players playing abroad. Obviously, we've got James Lawrence, we've got Matty Smith, we've got Rabbi Matondo, who's just gone. Obviously, Gareth, now Aaron. You know, it gives a different sort of feeling around the camp that they are experiencing different sort of environment of football.
You've named a bumper squad. What's the idea? Is it to trim it down after Trinidad, or?
No, I mean, obviously, recognising that it's 10 days, 10, 11 days, whatever it is, to Slovakia, there's a couple of doubts. There's 3 or 4 players who are carrying knocks. Also, there's games to play before then, so I'd rather include them rather than bringing them in. And I've spoke to a number of managers, the lads who have got knocks. We'll assess them later in the week, and if they don't quite make it, then they won't meet up in Manchester. But I just wanted to give them players as much chance as I could, but also communicating with the managers, you know, the reason why I'm including them in the squad. If they're not fit, they're not fit.
Is Ashley your captain for the next tournament?
Yeah, as long as Ashley's in the squad, he'll be captain. You know, I've said that in the past, and yeah, I don't see why there's any change with that. He's the captain going into the campaign. Yeah.
And I mean, you've seen him play, obviously. How is he? Because he went through a rough patch, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's enjoying it, his spell at Stoke. I spoke to Nathan Jones last night. He's really happy with him. I'm actually going to the game on Wednesday, Derby Stoke, so hopefully he'll be involved in that. But no, he's happy with where he's at and he's enjoying his football.
What about the form recently of Daniel James?
Well, I mean,
you gave him his debut in Albania. Has he built on that, do you think?
Well, he's got a fantastic goal, I know that. But yeah, I'm happy with where he's at. He gives a different option. You know, on Friday night he played up front, which was interesting as well. It was a threat. So it gives an option for me that, you know, if I want to play him in different positions, then I can. But yeah, he's a talent, and when you have speed like that, it always keeps you interested.
Last quote from me. The goalkeepers are not regulars, are they? Wayne Hennessy, Danny Ward, Adam Davis is actually. But is that a concern? I mean, when you played, you had one great goalkeeper and he played all the time, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky that we have got very talented goalkeepers. I've seen Adam twice over the new year, and he's playing brilliant. And obviously Barnsley are flying at the moment, so really happy with that. And Wayne's been in and out. He's had a few knocks, so he's been in and out. And obviously Danny's just playing. He's played the odd cup game and plays 23 games. So yeah, that's something that I need to think about coming into the game. You know, who's playing, but it's a good option to have.
And is the idea to play your team against Trinidad that would face Slovakia, or are you looking at it as two sort of totally separate entities?
Yeah, I'm leaving it open. I mean, I'm meeting with the staff later, and it's something that we've got to talk about. You know, whether we play two teams or whether we use it as a practice match. That's something that we've got to just juggle, really. It is an advantage, I think, going into that game. We've seen it when we played Denmark. They had a week leading up to it, and it is a short turnaround for teams who play on that Thursday. So it's just, what is the best preparation for that game on Sunday? Whether it's to play players who need games on the Wednesday, or whether to play two separate teams and just have a week's build-up. That's something that we're going to chat about this afternoon.
Last one. You talked about other commitments in a previous during the sort of international hibernation, as I call it. Can you assure the Wales fans that you are sort of full-time Wales boss and the other commitments don't interfere with what you would be doing as a Wales manager if there was none of those others? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, of course, my job is to get Wales to the European Championship. That is my primary job. And yeah, I've got other commitments that the FAW knew before I took over. For example, go to Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam in between the two games. It gives me 5 days on the grass coaching. I'm an ambassador for the Champions League. I was in South Africa for 3 days last week. You know, I'm being introduced as the Welsh manager. That can only be good. It can only be good in my eyes. Yeah, I have other commitments, but primarily my job is to manage Wales, and obviously I take that very seriously, and I'm 100% committed.